Hey, it's Jeff, and today I wanted to talk about motion and getting into motion, getting into action, because this is something I know a lot of people struggle with, and I've certainly had my struggles with it at times. And this is on my mind a lot because I just finished teaching this seed launch deep dive training, which I taught as a series of webinars. It was a series of 5 webinars that I did. And so the seed launch is all about getting started. It's often the first product that someone creates, and it's great because you can actually sell the product before you create it, and then you do it as you teach the product as a series of webinars. And so I was actually modeling the seed launch during this training. So it was all pretty cool, and we had this great group of people. We had a lot of questions, and of course, a lot of people do struggle with the getting started, and so I was coaching people through that a lot. And we had this on our last call, which yesterday, it was an incredible call, super high energy, and I did this live case study, and it was with Dory Etter, who had just finished delivering the product of her launch. And it was really cool because with her, even though she's a successful business person and has had a successful business where, a service business where she's helped people out and consulted with people, she'd never created a product before. And she used this process to create her product. And, in the middle of it, she made $52,000, which is a fantastic way, basically get paid to create that product. But one of the things she talked about is even though, she's done this coaching, she's for years, she has all kinds of happy, successful clients, repeat clients that come back to her. She'd always been intimidated by the actual creating a product and putting it out there. And finally she got over it. But she said something like she used to obsess about little things like what camera to use. I mean, that's the kind of thing that stops people, that holds people back quite a bit. And on the call she said, it's not about the camera. It's not, in the end, she used a webcam, like just a simple webcam to shoot her videos. And she's like, not one person wrote in and complained that like your video wasn't high enough resolution. Instead, they just bought her product. They went through her training. They loved her training, and it created great results for people. So it's not about the camera. It's not about what web host to use. It's not about what shopping cart to use. It's not about what teleseminar service to use or webinar service. It's just about getting moving. It's not about the camera. Remember that action begets action. Motion creates motion. Motion creates momentum. So it's just, there's good questions. You certainly have to get great expert opinion and training on stuff. I'm a big fan of training. I sell training, obviously, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people, they worry too much about some of the little things that just don't matter. It doesn't matter what shopping cart you use. If you make the wrong choice, then you'll change it and you'll use a different shopping cart in the future. If you use the wrong webinar host or not one that, none of them are wrong, one just might not be perfect. Well, there is no perfect. That's the other thing is that there's so many people that are perfectionists, and I say this as a recovering perfectionist myself. And the reality is, the perfectionism is where you think there's some ideal outcome out in the world, and you're going to find the perfect solution. You're going to find the perfect web host. Well, the reality is there's no perfect, and you're never going to find the perfect. There is, no perfect solution. And when you sit there and look around for the perfect camera to use, really what you're doing is you're just inventing a way to procrastinate. You're inventing a way to delay getting out into the world. It's a tool, it's a device you're using to avoid stepping up into a bigger life, into a bigger future, into creating more, into contributing more. And so let's just call it what it is. It's a device. That perfectionism is a device people use to avoid stepping up. So I invite you to think about that and just get into motion. It's not about the camera. It's about getting moving. You want to make the right decisions in some of the big things, but the big things that you need to worry about aren't, those little mechanical stuff. The big things are like, how are you going to create value for your clients? How are you going to step up into the world and create a great experience and create a great change or transformation in their lives, no matter what you're teaching. It's not about, do you host this thing on Facebook or do you host it on Kajabi? It's nothing like that. It's about how, if you're going to obsess about creating that great experience for your clients. So remember, motion creates motion, action begets action. Get moving. So if you're watching this anywhere besides on my blog at jeffwalker.com, then get over to jeffwalker.com, and because that's where I release all my new videos. And go ahead, hit that Facebook like button, because everyone loves to get likes. And leave a comment down below. We always have incredible discussion and interaction down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear how you get into action. I'd love to hear your struggles about getting into action, getting into motion. And yeah, let's go get them this week.